visualizing confidence levels. There's this interesting picture in your textbook, and it helps you understand what a confidence level is and also confidence intervals, and I thought I would explain it in this video. So what's going on here? We're going to pretend like in the United States, 51% of voters favor stricter gun laws. So we'll pretend that we took a census and we found that the population proportion for population percentage for voters who favor stricter gun laws is 51%. Now, in the real world, we don't know this. We, we haven't interviewed every single person, but we'll pretend like we know this. So this would be our p-value. Our p-value would be 0.51. Okay, now let's also pretend that we are going to take a random sample of 1,000 people in the US and then ask them, do you favor stricter gun laws or not? And then we do this 100 times, so 100 different samples of 1,000 people. Now what you're looking at on the right is a thing that could happen if you do this. Now what do all these boxes represent? They're actually showing you what statistic we got for each of these 100 samples of people. So if you go down to the very bottom, you can see 51% on the x-axis. Now 51% is the true population proportion of people who favor stricter gun laws in this example. And then each of the box represents the number we actually got when we took the sample of 1,000 people. We did it 100 times, so there's 100 of these boxes. Now let's look at this one right here. So I have my red dot over one of them. This is one of the times that we took a sample of 1,000 and interviewed them, and that time we found that some higher number than 51% favored stricter gun laws, like something like 67. So maybe like, it's kind of hard to tell here. This is like 75, so it's something like 60 something. So like 66% of people favored stricter gun laws for that sample. Let's look at another one. For example, this one right here. I'll tell you why it's yellow in a minute. Now, this time that we took the sample, we go down and we can see that for that sample of people, we got more like 38% of people favored stricter gun laws. So we got something different that time. Now, the thing is, if you're just taking a sample of people at random and it's not the whole population, you're going to get like different percentages depending on which specific sample you took at random. So sometimes we're going to get like 45% of the people we interview say they favor stricter gun laws. Sometimes we're going to get like 75%. Each box is like a different answer that we got if you go straight down to the x-axis. Now, what are these lines that come out from the boxes? Those are actually our confidence intervals. They show how far they extend for a 95% confidence level. So if you look down here, this blue box right here, that shows maybe about 40% of voters favor stricter gun laws. And I'm just like estimating really quickly here, you guys. So if my estimate doesn't look right, if you pause the video or something, I'm just kind of estimating. It's less than 51%. And then if we go to the left, that's the lower point for our confidence interval, maybe something like 20%. And then we go over here to the right, that's the upper point for our confidence level, maybe like 55%. So this time what we found is that in that group of 1,000 people that we interviewed, about 38% said they favor stricter gun laws, but we have a confidence level of something like 25 to 55%. So it's a really wide range. We're 95% confident that the population proportion of people who favor stricter gun laws is within here. Now notice that 51%, the true value that we don't typically know, it actually lies within that range. You can see that it's within that confidence interval. Now, what's the deal with the blue boxes and the yellow boxes? I said I called them orange on this slide, but whatever, they're orange or yellow. So some of the ones are colored, so the yellow/orange ones, these are the ones where when we took our sample of the population and found out what percentage of them favor stricter gun laws, the confidence interval did not end up capturing 51%. So we got some percentage of that sample favor stricter gun laws, like in this one, maybe something like 75%, and then our confidence interval does not extend all the way to 51%. So it's something like 55% to 95% of voters favor stricter gun laws, and we say that we're confident within 95% confident here. Unfortunately, for this one, this one, this one, and this one, all the orange yellow ones, we took a sample and we got this number, and then we got our confidence interval, and our confidence interval like doesn't even have the true population percentage in it. So all the blue ones, they do have it in there. So they all capture, the blue ones all capture, the confidence intervals captures 51%. So what do we mean when we say that we're 95% confident when we take a random sample like this and ask people a question? What we mean is that if we were to do our survey 100 times, which we did, about 95 of the times we would have a confidence interval that captures the true population proportion, so it captures 51%. About 5% of the time, maybe a little close to that, like 4%, we're going to get a confidence interval that does not capture the true numerical value. So that's what we mean when we say we're 95% confident that our method is going to capture the true population percentage of 51%. Okay, so hopefully this helps if you're reading this example in the book. If not, come talk to me in person and I'll try to explain it in another way. Okay.